And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Planet Crafter. I'm gonna go check how many fusion cores we need to get the next wreck open. Get the secret rooms in the next wreck open. We can go explore that wrecked secret rooms, and then we'll probably add a little bit more to our terraforming equipment. Probably building more frog and fish enclosures potentially. Potentially on the fish enclosures, we'll definitely do some more frogs. And then we're getting really close to the animal, to add to animals. About 80% of the way through it. That's the one that's upstairs. Whoops. There's the generator. So we do need one fusion core to get this one operational. I think it's just the one on this one. Oh, we've got some uncollected circuit boards here. We'll take those. Yeah, I think it's just the one. I am a little confused. Some of them require multiple cores in the power plant, and then some of them have multiple power plants. Although both those situations are a little bit more rare in my experience from what I've seen and played. I thought green, I thought it was some of the uranium, and just some grass. We do know some places where to explore them we need explosives. So instead of boarding all the circuit boards, I can turn these into explosives. Good if it's 2 and 1 or 1 and 2. 2 and 1. Don't need the fabric right now. Okay, so I want to make a fusion core. Open up the secret rooms. Well, not exactly secret, but the rooms you can't get into without powering up the facility. And that's going to require, obviously, a fusion core. So 3 pulsar, 2 osmium, and 1 obsidian. And we'll fly over there and see what we can find. There should be at least one vault with some credits in it. How valuable the credits are and whether or not they're really worth spending the pulsar quartz on is a different question. It should be a vault. Got the old chests from in here from when we moved in this place before. Chests are made of iron, and iron's not super valuable, so we left the chest behind. In you go. And after time, that'll lock in. And once it's locked in, doors will open. You can't take it out again. But with the doors locked in, we can go through them for loot. So we got 2 paths on this floor to go through at least. One loot chest with a bunch of tokens in it. Magnetar quartz is actually somewhat valuable, so not a bad find. And here's the big safe. I'll be lazy and leave actually some of the iron in the chest in the safe, because the safe can't disassemble the safe, so losing some iron to the safe is fine. Yeah, I think that was probably the 2 doors that opened, unless we particularly large wreck here. Open some more. Oh, I'm wrong. There is, in fact, more. Okay, we'll have to come back in here because the door is full. Wait, there's 1 door. There might be more downstairs. No, so it's just 1 more door worth of stuff to loot. Get the inventory cleared out, and we go take a look. Supply all. Transfer most of it. This is available for the bots to grab. Grab back the stuff I think the bots aren't going to bother grabbing, like the production thing. I give them a moment to actually grab some of that so we can transfer some more over. So here comes the wave of bots to pick things up. There we go. Back into the wreck we go. We know there's 1 chest worth of stuff to grab. And at the very least... Yeah, I think we've been through the rest of it except for that 1 door that opened. Well, technically I think we went through the door, right? We just realized we didn't have enough inventory space to grab the stuff from behind the door. This door opened. You 4 up. You, most importantly, with another energy multiplier fuse. Thank you. Oh, I suppose I didn't check. Is there a power plant in the back half of this ship? Again, the back half you have to go up a... Well, you're supposed to go up a fight. Might be able to get up there with a jetpack by itself, but... I'm supposed to climb up this fine. There we go. Don't know if there's a power plant in the back half here. Might be. Yeah, that does appear to be a no. Okay, another wreck explored. I know there's more wrecks that we can go back to with those power cores and get a little bit more stuff out of them as well, so we're nowhere near done exploring every last nook and cranny of this world. Although for the moment we can come over here and put this power fuse in the power box. You full. Actually, you would warrant at this point probably being upgraded. 3 obsidian, 2 explosive powder, 2 uranium. Not 2 uranium. 1 uranium rod, 1 uranium rod. Oh, I'm gonna get the explosive and uranium powder on the old one, so I really just needed the obsidian. Oops, daisy. There we go. So that makes those a lot more productive, getting their production times down. Not that I necessarily needed their production times down, but now they're going to be real fast. Oops. Did not mean to drop them on the ground. I meant to open the chest here. Asteroid or something coming down, probably. Either just a dust storm. Sometimes it's hard to tell them apart. Oh, this is probably an aurora. Grab the 5 beans. Yoink 5 honey. Make 5 high density foods. And then eat one. Go. And go fed the character there. Reminds me, did I set that, obsidian chest up to request obsidian? No. I should do so, otherwise that's never going to get to the chest. Okay, do you have what it takes to make another fish items? I think that was 3 silk. Yeah, 3 silk, 2 bioplastic nuggets, and phytoplankton A. Okay, that should be enough to make the bioplastic nuggets. I get silicon and water. There's the silicon. Grab some water in the water collector. And phytoplankton A is probably actually going to be right at my water life collector, which is you. Yeah, I got a lot of B's and a lot of C's. Oh, there's an A. Okay, that's what we need. The fish farm. Find a bit where we don't have fish on the lake already. I suppose I have to actually make some fish. Because there wasn't any in the collector. The collector collects it every once in a while as a byproduct on this lake, but doesn't mean I currently have one to go. Okay, so what do I need to make a fish egg? Best one I can make is C tier 2 and fertilizer. So fairly easy to do. All I gotta do is pick up a C. So we'll get that being made into a fish, and then we'll get a couple frog farms going while we're waiting for that to happen. Which is common water fertilizer. There we go. So without the frogs in them, they just make heat, pressure, and plants, but we'll very quickly get them making frogs, or making animals as well once we've got frogs installed in them. Breed a few. I'm going to need 3 of the bacteria samples. 3 sulfur. that'll make us the tier 3 mutagen, and I need tier 1 to go with them. There we go. Then I need tier 2 fertilizer and some frog eggs. Might be 1 tier 2 fertilizer short from doing 3 batches. I think I'm 1 short. Wouldn't be that hard, I think, to make a tier 2 fertilizer. What the recipe is. Fertilizer, algae, squash, 2 methane cartridges. Okay. Squash. Algae. Two methane cartridges. Does take a tier 1 fertilizer, if I remember correctly. Got one of those out. And apparently the bots had already found another tier 2, but I'm just making the one we got stuff for in the inventory. There we go. So we just need to make the eggs, or pick up the eggs and start putting them through the processing unit. DNA manipulator. So generic fertilizer mutagen to make better frog eggs. Oh, and I have the recipe to make generics. We just have a collector that goes out and collects them for us, which makes that much easier. And we deploy our fish. Anyway, we're getting close to the next terraforming stage. That's 1.25. Next batch in. And off it goes. Deploy these frogs. Okay, animals are definitely moving faster at this point than plants. Haven't caught up to insects yet. So I think that was the toxic cave, which was from last time. Yeah, I think this was still from the toxic cave. And to be fair, I think this was what made the toxic cave toxic. Like, crashed with the toxic contents. And then this was not last part, the part before last in this recording session. Went and explored the crater. And the crater is down here. That's where I went in exploring. I think there's another site near here, which is his attempted launch facility. Whether he launches from it or not, I'm not 100% sure whether he actually succeeded getting away. Have those eggs finished mutating? They have. Next batch. Let's retrieve our insects from the habitats. Going those for these four. Or the environments? Ecosystems. Harvest the naturally generated insects from the ecosystems. We'll get back inside, we'll do some processing on them. So the bee larvae may be tempting to use at some point to make more bees. Although I'm not desperate for them right now. Butterfly, rare we're not desperate for. Common we do want. I think these three butterfly types will probably process back into their inputs. So we got more commons, we got some rares, we got some mutagen, we got some fertilizers. Apparently our character is a little thirsty. Have those frog seeds finished. They have. Let's get them deployed. That's the dead end. There we go. Another batch of 3 frogs. You know, I got a decent amount of fertilizer. I might as well just go ahead and make another batch of 3 frogs while we're at it. Do that on 3 common larvae. We have 3 in stockpile. So 3 fertilizer, 3 larvae, 3 water. And then I gotta make 3 sets of frogs to put in them. Okay. So I have to do some improvement of the fertilizer this time, because we only got mostly tier 1 fertilizer. Although I'll get the mutagen ready first. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for these. And then for you, I'm going to need 2 LJ, 2 squash, 4 methane to make the 2 tier 1s to tier 2s. And then just grab 3 eggs from here. 3. And we start the processing. Oops, I had control pressed at the time, which is not what I wanted to do. Here we go. So there's the first of that batch going. In the meantime, I suppose we should start launching more rockets. We have 8 of each of the types launched. Wouldn't be the end of the world if we launched another 1 of each, I believe. So let's go get ourselves the recipes for the first 3, so I can get the bits for them. Well, the first 3 I'm going to launch, so animal spreader, insect spreader, seed spreader, so that's going to require 3 bees, 2 mutagen. Launching 3 rockets, I need 3 rocket engines, 2 osmium rods, bacteria sample, barks downstairs, I'm going to need 6 animal traits, which we'll make out of our generic frog eggs. Grab bark. Has our frog finished processing? It has. Next batch of frog eggs in the manipulator. Grab the traits. Put the frog in frog habitat. Launch those 3 rockets. And then get us the recipe for the next 3. Off goes the animal rocket. Then clear the launch site. And the insect rocket. Seed spreader rocket. That's going to be the next 3 batches of rockets. So we need super alloy to make that work. Is that enough? That's enough. 6 super alloy, 3 cobalt, 3 silicon. Lermaseed, fertilizer. Fertilizer. Seed's gonna be upstairs. A bark. 3 engines. I used my mutagen up accidentally. I had not intended to do that. Didn't think about it, did I? Yeah, I used up the tier for mutagen. Shouldn't be too hard to replace. Okay, so with that we can get the next drog egg under process. Then we can drop off our current one, and we can launch 3 more rockets. Pretty quick succession. Here goes the plant one. This is the pressure one. Batch of frog eggs. Now the ecosystems are probably filled up. They have. Let's get these emptied. So what did we pull? Butterfly, 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 butterfly. Uncommon is actually, in many ways, apparently more rare than the rare ones, and then some rare ones. So I'm going to process the butterflies back into their larval form. Oops, wrong button. To make silk workers. I know I make them out of the uncommon. Uncommon bacteria fertilizer. Okay, so it's pretty easy. And I need 3 3 for my silk generator. I'll make another silk generator. Bioplastic nuggets and plankton A. So we need silicon water to make bioplastic nuggets. Here's the silicon. Here we got water. Then phytoplankton A. It's pretty easy to come by. Just go to the water life collector. There we go, one out. Make a fish farm. Gotta get some fish to put in the fish farm, but one thing at a time. Okay, it's under production. Idiot. Fish eggs, I'm going to go to phytoplankton. So I've got C. I should probably grab a C out of the collector. So get some fish eggs going when we're done with the silkworms. Or I can get lucky and we can just pull a raw fish egg. It's not as good as the crafted one, but doesn't necessarily need to be as good as the crafted one. The bottleneck right now is in crafting. Once this is done, we'll have the 3 silkworms we need for a second silk generator. So I need zeolite, water, and oxygen. Oxygen may at some point become actually somewhat a rare resource. Because I'm not actively producing it. Although I'm not actively producing zeolite either. Just waiting on that silkworm, which is now done. There we go. Upstairs, we're going to put it next to the existing one. Should roughly double the amount of silk we're making. The autocrafters can pick things off the ground. Might get an autocrafter going with the attempt of trying to get it to make something like cookies. using the farmed resources out here. Oh, I need a platform first if I'm going to make that work. Which of course means I need an iron. I could go back into the base and go looking for one. Alright, take a moment. Flying around the exterior here and see if there's any surface iron just sitting about. Probably isn't. Yeah, at this point I think it'd just be quicker to go straight to the iron chest rather than be looking for the iron on the surface here. Fly in the door. Run up the stairs. Around the corner, there's the iron. Grab a hunk of iron. We only need one hunk of iron. What I'm trying to do, which is put down one measly foundation grid. I can hop up on. Hopefully, you fit. Go. And then I'd like you to make cookies, if possible. Chocolate and flour. Okay, so I'm actually going to need 3 of you to make that work. I'll be working on chocolate. I might need another thing of chocolate going. Ingredients are found in range, inventories, and items within range. Yeah, I'm going to need another thing of chocolate. Of cocoa, because this needs 6 to work, and the farm has 5. Yeah, you can probably see where the math isn't working there. The farm will only ever have 5, so I need 2 farms of chocolate to have the autocrafter crafting automatically. I can get the rest of the chain set up, although the rest of the chain's gonna have the same problem, right? It's wheat's gonna have the exact same problem for the exact same reason. Six becomes 1, and the last one converts those ingredients into cookies, which obviously won't work until there's enough ingredients. Outdoor farm, so I need 2 bees. 2 bees per farm, so I actually need 4 bees. The bees might be reasonably easy to get, because they come from the beehives as well. So 1, 3, 4. There we go. See where is downstairs. Sorry. Around a little bit in circles here. And then they turn the tier 1 to the tier 2. I need algae, squash, and mythic arches. Okay. Squash is outside. And yes, I did just eat some of the squash to get the health back in the character. Okay, so then to make that work, I need more wheat and more cocoa bean seeds, which means I need to send the trade rocket off again to get some more in. Shouldn't be that hard to do. Cocoa, wheat. Oh, and I have enough for you. Here we go. Yeah, the rocket's not full. It's close enough. Off goes the rocket. Could have technically shoved another 2 things in it, but it'll be close enough. In the meantime, I think we have enough silk. No, I'm actually 1 silk short, but to make 2 fish farms, we'll start working on 2 fish farms. Okay, gonna be 1 bioplastic nugget short, like I'm 1 silk short, but... Well, I'm already short 1 other ingredient, so we're just gonna have to hold off on the 2nd fish farm for a moment, while we're waiting for the 1 mushroom and the 1 silk to generate. Also need a plankton A. These are what we use for the fish. T2 mutagen and fertilizer, and I haven't actually been using a lot of the tier 2 mutagen, so we've actually got quite a bit of it. There we go. Now we just need the phytoplankton A. And the bioplastic nugget. Not ready, 42%. Farm's faster? No, the farms do more. No, the farms are actually... The outdoor ones are actually slower, apparently. Just do 2.5 times more stuff in parallel. I need more silk. I need, well, I need the bioplastic, really. Which is a mushroom. A single mushroom. Although by mean, I mean to finish up what I'm working on. Not necessarily fundamental necessity to finish the game, I suppose. How long until that trade rocket gets back? About 5 minutes. Well, we'll get our cookies being made at that point. And we're going to be exporting cookies. And yeah, we're getting pretty close. 1.22, and we want 1.25 for the animal shelter. I don't know what the recipe is for the animal shelters. The animal shelter might be surprisingly expensive. I suppose we haven't made any animal food yet. I suppose I should make some food while I'm thinking about it. Honey, beans, Carmen lager. Another thing of bean. The outdoor farm. That should be enough to make 3 things of tier 1 food. %, so the indoor is actually faster. The indoor will be done. No. Let's just harvest the outdoor one sooner. Or later? Later. 7.5. Okay, or 75. So that is actually going to be done faster. Okay. And as it stands, it's still insects leading the way in kilotons, both production and deployed, of biomass, although animals are in a close second, and given enough time, the animals will overtake the plants. Although they're still behind the insects by a lot. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for a mushroom to finish growing, basically, aren't I? Well, and the trade rocket to get back. So we got our fish egg, we got our phytoplankton, we're just waiting on... Well, I can grab the other stuff we need for the bioplastic nugget, right? I can grab the silicon and the water. And we just need the mushroom, 81% inside, 96% outside, 98%, 99%, And ready. There we go. There's our rocket returning. Oak seed, wheat seed, tier 2 drone. Now the tier 2 drones, I believe, fly faster. They got a slightly more complicated recipe, of course, but should now be able to see that recipe. So, rocket engine, circuit board, super alloy, and explosive powder. So the super alloy and explosive powder replaces the iron. But obviously it's faster drone. At some point I might take the time and the effort to replace A with B. But that won't be right now. Okay, so wheat seed on that side. This side we'll do cocoa seed. And then when that's done, that should be enough. Because effectively we've got 10 growing at a time. So it'll be a bit slow because we'll have to wait for a full growth cycle effectively for the autocrafters to work, but every time a full growth cycle is complete, we'll make a thing of chocolate and a thing of wheat. And every 3 times we make a thing of chocolate and a thing of wheat, we'll have enough to make a cookie. Which is set to be supplied. And then we can tell the rocket to take the cookies. And the bots will deliver the cookies to the rocket. You. Don't demand that. Demand the cookies. Meantime, can I get a autocrafter? Yeah, there will work. So you're making bioplastic nuggets. I think you there should be in range at least of the farm, the mushroom farm, and the silicon chest. You probably aren't in range, which is why I'm going to go ahead and make a storage chest of the water. So we'll get some water delivered nearby. Okay, you're actually set to supply everything. You're set to supply everything, which is probably why you're empty, because the bots are pulling all the water off. And you're empty, presumably because, again, pulling all the water off. Okay. So you're full of water. You are making bioplastic nuggets, yeah. So the only thing that was out of range was, in fact, the water. Because yeah, that was the thing that we were running low on. Well, chronically having to make is make the bioplastic nuggets. Now I can just go to that autocrafter and grab some whenever we need it. Oh, we had stuff unlocking 1.25. Let's check if it's unlocked. It might be that we're not quite rounded to the right number. Yeah, it's supposed to, there it goes. Animal shelter and the feeding place. And we reached the mammals level. Evolution achieved is the achievement. Animal shelter. Insert creature's DNA to spawn animals. Makes a lot more animals than the amphibian farm. Water, circuit board, silk, lerma seed, tier 2 fertilizer, and a methane cartridge. And this will feed nearby animals as well. Okay. So I want you and you. So we're going to need 2 circuit boards. We need 2 silk and a plastic nugget. A tier 2 fertilizer, so I'm gonna have to make it out of a tier 1 probably. No, lerma seeds are upstairs. LJ squash. There's our squash, LJ, and methane. Okay, so I need 3 methane cartridges instead of 1. Because I'm going to have to make the fertilizer as well, which is also made out of methane. And 1 honey. Oh, let's grab our created creature so we can immediately deploy it. Creature DNA. There we go. Got the achievement for crafting animal shelter. Animals can eat food placed in the animal feeder. Well-fed animals will produce more animal terraforming value. If animals are hungry, they won't grow or give traits. Animal food will boost animal stats, but they can also eat vegetables. Okay, so technically I can feed them with things that are not the animal food. Animal shelters will spawn animals around it. You should place an animal feeder nearby. You can pet animals. Once in a while, petting an animal will give you a trait if the animal is fed. Traits will either be from the creature's traits, or it'll be a random, rare genetic trait. Okay. 1 animal in. And off we're going with more animals. So it's making 137.9 kilograms per second, effectively, of animal. So quite a bit of animal being made. Let's see what that one animal by itself is doing to our biomass. And yeah, that's now put animals above insects. We got more space for animals in that one animal shelter, so we should probably put more animals in that animal shelter. And next step is complete terraformation. So yeah, we're on our way. And biomass is going up rapidly. Yeah, we got plenty of power. So I think that's a good place to put a part break in here. We're going to be working on probably making some more animals next time. So that means I need to get species, colors, A and B. We might try to do something a little bit more complicated with getting a couple of the other traits going if we can. But we'll look into that next time. If you're watching on YouTube, we will have another part up for you tomorrow. I am going to record one more part tonight just to get a little bit farther ahead, because basically the break when I moved out, or moved to go help someone move, we took a trip 2 states over, went, well, let's just say it went 3 days longer than it was supposed to. So I went through all the backlog, spent all the backlog as far as recording. So there was actually a gap where nothing will be posted effectively to YouTube. So this is the end of the 4th part in this recording session. I'm going to go 5. In theory, this will probably be delayed. The first part of this one will be delayed enough that effectively that'll give me 1 day of spare time in the recording schedule. Normally I run 2, but obviously having all the backlog recorded out, played out on YouTube, it means there's no backlog for anything. So we're going to run a slightly longer session here. But yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, there should be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching this on YouTube now, as this comes live, later in the day, we should be probably streaming more Planet Crafter, unless we somehow go through the entire rest of the game in the next hour. Although we're probably close enough to the end of the game, we may end the run. Not this stream, but next stream. I'm not going to move. I think there's... So you've got Prime, which is the base world. I think Vanilla might have one other world. I don't have any of the DLC. The DLCs add more moons that you can go terraform. I don't have those DLCs. I think we're going to stop when we get the default ending on Prime. One of the endings on Prime. Maybe both the endings. I think there's multiple endings. But yeah, that's where we're going to stop in the run. If you want to see more, feel free to let me know at that point, or at this point if you're watching this on YouTube. But yeah, that's the upcoming plans for this run. If you're watching YouTube, again, we'll have another part for you tomorrow that we're going to record tonight. And then this should continue, obviously, until we're done with the run. I think we are fairly close to the end of the run. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break here so I can get up, stretch the legs, finish off this tea, and replace it with a can of soda, and then we'll be back to record some more. So until next time, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.